probably not going to be happy when Beth goes.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to the August 18th, 2025 meeting of the East Bridgewater School Committee. We will start by standing and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There is no one here for public comment this evening, so we will move right into Dr. Williams' report.
Great, thank you. First, I'd like to welcome. Is there a motion to open?
I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes, welcome to Leslie and Chris.
Yes, welcome. So I'll just run through, I have 4 items, and they'll maybe go a little out of order just as I sort of review in chronological order how we've been preparing to open the schools. We started with our administrative retreat last week. We had 2 days with our leadership team. On Tuesday, we met with the principals and the assistant principals. And then on Thursday, we had the entire team, principals, assistant principals, as well as all of our directors in the district. So that went well. We're pretty well prepared for the opening of school as far as facilities being ready, staffing. We're almost complete at this point with all positions being filled. I'll share with you to date. We didn't have very many positions to fill, which is good and bad. Certainly with reductions that reduce the number of positions that we would need to be filling. But on a positive note, very few resignations, which is always great to have retention. So we do have a new adjustment counselor at the Mitchell School, Sarah Gibbons. No new staff at Central School. And then at the junior senior high school, we have Alexa Lasley. Alexa was a long-term substitute last year as a business teacher, and she's officially hired as a business teacher this year for the junior senior high school. We have Molly Prune as a guidance counselor here up at the junior senior high school. Kendra Smith will be a 7th grade math teacher, and Elizabeth O'Neill will be a transition teacher. Jay, do you want to mention the transition position? Because it's brand new for us this year.
Sure. So this is a new program for us, transition program for our 18 to 22-year-old students with disabilities. It helps them as they make their transitions into adulthood and into adult life, doing things like adult daily living skills, job training, looking to see where their expertise is in that area, what kind of supports might they need in the job environment. So that program will be running up through one of our classrooms here. It will have Ms. O'Neill in it. We'll have a teacher assistant. It also allows us the opportunity to bring some of our kids back into it. Currently, we've got kids that are out of district that we're funding for these transition programs. And we're looking to bring those students back into district so that they're in their community, they're working here, they're close to their homes. Later on in life, you're looking for them to be able to work in the community and be with their peers.
Right. It's so beneficial to have a program like this because, first and foremost, it allows for our students to stay within their community. And as Mr. Phelan mentioned, it's self-sustaining because these would be programs that we would otherwise be tuitioning students out, that now we can keep them within the district to have that programming here. So that's great. We do also have a Spanish teacher that's been hired for the district. That's in progress right now. She's actually coming from Spain. So that's great. And then we have a school psychologist position and a reading specialist position that are both in progress. School psychologists, I think we're contracting those services
for the beginning of the year.
For the start of the school year. So those are the new staff at this point. We also have a handful of instructional support assistants that will be hired, so that's still in progress. And this is actually the first official week for our new staff. They started today, so I'll let Mrs. McPartling sort of run through the week for them.
Yeah, so this week they are coming to, our new teaching staff and guidance staff are coming to us for different orientation kind of activities. Today was building based, where they met with their building administrators. They get to pick up their devices, their keys, all of that good stuff to get acclimated to the building, and they were able to meet with their administrators. Tomorrow, they have sessions planned all morning with both myself and our tech integration facilitator, Mrs. Fisher, where they'll go over the curriculum resources that we have within the district and how they pertain to their particular roles. We're going to go over the technology and how they can access everything before that beginning of the school time. And then we're going to do a district luncheon with a number of the directors in the district and district staff so they can kind of meet and put names to faces. And then in the afternoon, any of them that require a mentor will be having a mentoring session with me, and their mentors have been invited to come to that as well, so they can get that process up and running before the school year starts. And then on Wednesday, they're going to assist with our Start Strong program. So that is our K-379 program that I mentioned a couple months ago. It's already here on Wednesday, and we have about 350 students in the district who are going to be participating in that particular program at the varying grade levels, where they're going to have a number of activities. They're going to get acclimated to the school, meet their teachers, staff, meet some of their classmates, and then just have that, fear taken away before the first night of school next week. So those staff members that are new this year, they have Wednesday in their own buildings to meet those incoming students, be a part of that, which is great because we do have new guidance staff, so that is an excellent way for them to meet some of the new students as they transition.
Great, thanks. So, although we're getting ramped up, the school year in the summer still always stay busy. This summer we had the extended school year program, the ESY program, approximately 100 students that attended.
Just under 100, yep.
Our ESY, as well as our Little Vikings. This year was the 10th anniversary of Little Vikings, so Mrs. Verasso always does a great job with Little Vikings. This year we had Ms. Sims as our director of ESY. This was her first year as a director, replacing Ms. Tellis, and she did a great job.
Did a great job. Yeah.
So that was great. And sports started today, so the activity is returning to the building. Next week, all of our staff will be returning on Monday, the 25th. In the morning, they'll be at their buildings for their faculty meetings and welcome back. 11:30, we'll have district-wide lunch here at the junior senior high school, provided by Perfectly Flavored. I'd like to extend an invitation to all school committee members. Tomorrow we're hosting the town department meeting, and we'll be inviting the town department heads to join us as well. And then we have little activities. I don't want to give surprises away, but activities just to celebrate all that's going on here in the district. For staff, everyone will be welcomed into the auditorium at 1:15. I'll give the welcoming open. Certainly lots of thank yous and introductions that we need to do for staff, and then we kind of end with a little surprise for staff as well. Tuesday is their day, pretty much. We have some training, safety care training for the majority of our teaching assistants and some of our staff, but Tuesday is really the day for staff to get their rooms ready and set up. Central School has their open house that evening, as well as grade 3 have their open house that evening. And then on Wednesday is a full day of professional development for staff. So back over to you to
Yes.
share professional development.
Yeah, so for professional development, we have our pre-K teachers are going to actually be at BSU for the day. They're going to be doing interactive science workshops that they can then bring back into their classrooms. Our ISAs and our behavior specialists are going to be working with Reed's collaborative training, where they're going to go over roles, responsibilities, behavior, de-escalation strategies all day. And then the rest of the staff is going to spend the first part of the day in their buildings, and they're going to be getting kind of like committee updates. A lot of work was done last year with writing and math fluency and UDL and child study, and what we wanted to do was kind of recap everybody on where we are with those initiatives and how they're going to carry into the new school year. So every building is going to have their own separate meeting, and then there'll be 3 sessions after that where the staff will participate either in grade level department time, where they're going to kind of decompress after hearing about all those committee updates. Mrs. Fisher is going to run an AI productivity tools training session for how AI can be harnessed for teacher usage. We also have some U-Fly trainings going on. You probably heard about that last year when we were talking about the foundational program we're using in the elementary school for reading. We have a refresher training, and we also have an initial training for any staff who may be new to using the program. And then we have our ML teachers have some new materials that they're going to be working with. So everyone's going to kind of scatter for the last 3 sessions of the afternoon, but it'll be a good way to get everybody on the same page before we get started.
Great, thanks. And then Thursday's the big day. First day for students in grades 1 through 12. It will be also for Thursday and Friday days for preschool and kindergarten to host their visits, so students can come and visit the classroom, and then they'll start after Labor Day. So we're ready to go.
Will they be doing the bus again? You know how they did in the past with the,
Oh, we can check to see if Lucini can have a bus parked outside. Is that what you mean for kindergarten and preschool to get on?
I just thought of
It's on the list. Yeah. Well, really just for kindergarten. Preschool doesn't get on, but we don't want to tempt them too soon.
I think this all sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe the summer just flew by and we're back at it again.
It always does. But if any of you would like to join us on Monday, just let me know, because I would like to introduce you to staff as part of my
I'm gonna try to be
introductions.
here.
Okay,
I'll be there. I'll
Great.
come for lunch too.
perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. That's all.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. We already welcomed the new school committee members, so we'll go back to Dr. Williams. Central School.
And I won't spend too much time, but I did put in front of you the very latest forum that we held. We have held 4 community forums at this point. We held 2 in person before the school year ended. And then over the summer, June, I believe it was June 12th, and then July 31st, we held virtual ones. Just thinking the summer is a really busy time, lots of traveling, so opportunity for people to access the meeting wherever they are. All of these meetings are being recorded, and they can be accessed. So you'll notice on the front page, there's a QR code that takes you to the website that's specifically for the Central School Building Project. It's located on the town website, just so that everyone in the community has access to it. So we're moving along. At this point in time, we do have a tentative budget. We're getting ready to submit the schematic design, which means it's almost in its final form. It will be submitted to the MSBA. We're going to try to have it submitted right after our meeting on Wednesday evening. That will be the last votes for the committee to vote on the schematic design. It's not officially due to the MSBA until August 28th. And then the MSBA will hold their meeting, I believe, I wrote down, October 28th, I believe, is the date that they will hold their MSBA meeting to vote to approve the schematic design, to vote to approve the budget, and as long as they approve it, then we'll be ready to move forward with town approval. And town approval consists of 2 steps. One being us having a town meeting, where it needs to be voted on at the town meeting, and then if it's approved at town meeting, it will go to a ballot. And so then a town election will be done for a ballot vote for the building project to be approved. This last forum, I feel, has been the most informative, obviously, just because we're moving along with the project, where it was able to break down what the cost approximates will be. In comparison, I think a lot of questions that we've been getting is, why do we need a new building? Shouldn't we just be looking at, updating the building and doing like the basic repairs? You'll see in your packet, a base repair is still $60 million. A base repair does not account for any updates to educational programming, so the MSBA will not partner with you on a base repair, so that full cost would be the district. The majority of that cost is bringing us up to ADA compliance. As we talked about a number of times, the entire building is not accessible. Actually, the top floor of the building is not accessible. So if ever, and there have been times where we have students who are not mobile, have wheelchairs, and we need to relocate classrooms in order for them to be able to access all parts of the building. So not only bringing electrical compliance and HVAC compliance up to date, we would also be required to bring the ADA compliance up to date. So looking at the cost differential for full cost of a building-based repair, we're looking at $60 million, whereas a brand-new school, we're at $125 million. However, the MSBA partners with us on it, so then we're looking at approximately, I think a cost share for us would be about 76 million for us. You'll notice on one page where we started at the very beginning of the process when we were looking at preliminary design. And the design all comes from our educational visioning that happens with our teachers. It's really the first and foremost thing that we do is we talk about what do we need educationally, and then as the plan starts to come together, that's when we talk about more of the bones of the building and what we need for HVAC and what we're looking at for the structure. So back December, we were looking at about a $90 million cost for the town. We then really massaged that and tried to work through that and really talked about, like, let's take off anything that we feel is not a necessity in order for the educational programming to be where it needs to be. So we were down to 83 million about March, and then further work that's been done got us down to 76 million. And it's where we feel we're not just putting things into the plan that we feel are nice. It's things that we're putting into the plan that we feel are necessary for the educational programming, and being mindful of the cost to the town. So that's where we are right now. You'll notice in the packet, they've also started putting some visuals in there. You can see the existing conditions that are in the PowerPoint showing some of the deficits that we have within the building. You'll also see that for a new building, where it's being built. It's being built pretty much how we did the junior senior high school, where it was built behind it. Once the new building is built, then we'll relocate the students into the building, and that's when the demolition of the old building would take place. The new building will be where the 2 softball fields are located. I heard there was a little bit of chatter on social media as to why do elementary school students need turf fields. It's not specifically for Central School, it's to replace the softball fields that were taken over by the new building being built. So we're just repairing and replacing the softball fields in that new location. However, given its physical proximity, it will be great for the Central School student to be able to take advantage of that during the school day, just as they do the softball fields now during the school day. But it's primarily for the high school sports and the town sports. So it's really a benefit to the whole community. You'll see the design of the building is broken down into wings. The center of the building is where all the main happenings of the building are. The cafeteria is located there, the gymnasium is located there, and those are really so that they're easily accessible by the town. We know this building is heavily used. The cafeteria, the gymnasium are used on a daily basis, 365 days of the year. This will allow the Central School to be accessible to the town as well, obviously cutting down on some of the deterioration that happens just from overuse. Like with the turf field, we'd have a second turf field. We'd have a gymnasium that is big enough for regulation basketball games, including bleachers. Any parents that have been to the Mitchell School for a basketball game or been to the Central School, you know, 1, it's not regulation size, and 2, parents are taking their life in their own hand to make sure basketballs are not flying at them because they're standing with their toes on the line. So we've really been thoughtful about not only what students need from an educational standpoint, but really what will benefit the community. The other thing is looking at parking, looking at traffic patterns. Those were topics that we talked a lot about, knowing the congestion that happens now at Central School. So given additional points of access where families can pull into the Central School, have a longer queue, so that they're all lined up within Central School property and not filtering out onto Central Street or having to go and loop around into a line. So the sides of the building are communities based on grade levels. The teachers felt it was very important to keep students together as a community, even though we could have up to 8 classrooms. That gets large. However, still having that community feel with extended learning happening in the center. So you see on page 11, those yellow areas are extended learning opportunities where multiple classrooms in a grade level could come together for a presentation, a lab activity, things that normally they're going into another classroom and all trying to have enough space in a classroom. They can go to the extended learning area and meet, like I said, as multiple classrooms together, still staying within their neighborhood. So we would have preschool and kindergarten on the bottom floor, obviously making it much more accessible and easier for them to navigate the building, getting to the gymnasium, the cafeteria, specials, and then our big kids, first and second graders on the second floor. With all of our specials being in close proximity of one another, knowing that they often collaborate and work together to plan interactive activities for the students. And then the presentation just sort of ends with some visuals of what it will potentially look like from the view of Route 18, from the view of Central Street, and lastly is the schedule. Looking that if all goes through according to plan and it's approved, we'd be looking at opening the schools September of 2028. And then the demolition and the building of the turf field would happen from there over the next 8 to 10 months. So that was a year and a half's worth of work that I just shared with you. But certainly if you have any questions, our architectural firm, Raymond Design, and our owner's project manager, Left Field, have been working very closely with us. They were at the Board of Selectmen meeting. We were there a week or so ago. They have offered at any point in time, if the committee would like for them to come in, share more specific information, ask any questions that you might have. They're more than happy to do that. We have a few events that are coming up. We will be at Central School's open house and Mitchell School's open house, hoping to get lots of traffic. Well, there will be lots of traffic at those, as anyone that's been to those events knows. Just getting as much information out to families as possible. We'll be at the Council on Aging on the 27th to talk with our senior citizens at 1 o'clock on the 27th, and just constantly trying to get as much exposure. The last thing we want is for people to know that to say that they didn't know about the project. Certainly everyone's going to have their opinion, and they have their right to their opinion as to whether they are in favor of the school or not. Like I said, we just want to make sure that everybody's fully informed and not relying on hearsay. So,
I liked what you said, because a big selling point, and it makes 100% sense, is the cost of what it would cost to repair versus the cost if we went with a new school and the MSBA reimbursement rate.
yeah. We were really in favor at one point in time with an ad reno. So that main part of the building, the big windows, everyone feels that that's a real focal point of Central School. So we were talking about renovating that area and then getting rid of the modulars and the other side of the building where the cafeteria is. To do an addition renovation project was much more costly than a brand new build. And it even left some risk, not knowing once they start renovating any unforeseen issues that they might run into. So although at first we thought this is great, best of both worlds, we're getting the programming updates and infrastructure updates that we need and still keeping the nostalgia of Central School. But certainly it came down to us making sure that we're fiscally responsible as well.
Thank you for all that.
Jen and John are both on the school building committee as well. I didn't know if you have anything to add.
No, there was a lot of work, a lot of meetings. We did a lot. I think the financial responsibility everyone took to heart and tried to make it as realistic and financially feasible as possible.
Yeah, we have a lot of people, a lot of representation, which is great. There's 18 of us on the committee, including staff from Central School, so. Jen's a new member.
I'm new, but it is evident how much work has been put into this, trying to play catch up.
Her first meeting, she learned all about HVAC systems.
More than I ever needed to know about HVAC systems.
That was a 3-hour meeting.
It was 3 hours.
Great.
Okay. Next, we have the 2025-2026 school committee meeting calendar. It was in your packet. We've been through this multiple times, so like we said, typically one meeting per month. However, if we need to add, we will add a meeting depending on what's going on. Next, we have the 2025-2026 school committee operating protocols. So this is just,
Do you think we should do this since Aaron and Peter are both not here? Do you think we should save this for the next meeting?
yeah, we can table this to the next meeting.
Just in case they have any comments, questions.
Um, Next, subcommittees. So we have some openings here. So we have an opening on the budget subcommittee. Crystal, would you be good with that?
Oh, I'm sorry, which one?
The budget subcommittee?
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Catching up here.
So we'll do that. We have several openings on the subcommittee to update the educational philosophy of the district. That seems right up Leslie's
Yeah.
alley, right?
And it may or may not be, need to be updated since we just updated it.
Okay.
Yeah, 2023, maybe we updated it?
Oh, I thought it was more recent than that, because wasn't
Not this
Gordon-
past school year, the school year before, so 23, 24
Oh,
school
yeah.
year,
Seems like it was just yesterday.
right?
Do you like to be on that one?
No,
No.
I have enough.
Okay. So I think we will
But
add.
thanks for asking.
I'll join Leslie, and then if there's another member that,
I think we'll have Aaron on that too. And then standing committee for school committee goals. Today we have Ellen and Peter on that. Would that be a good one for you, Leslie, as well?
Yep.
Okay. And then you're meeting with,
yeah,
the community
Yep.
coalition. All right.
Well, I think that's one of the only times I've said no to anything.
You did it very emphatically as well.
No, right now I have policy stuff on my plate that I need to get off my plate, so that's what my focus will be.
Okay. DEI subcommittee. Crystal, is that okay for you?
Yeah.
Safety subcommittee, I know Gordon was on that with Peter. We have to figure out. I'll put Aaron on that one as well. And then new school committee orientation subcommittee, between you and I, do you want to, you can meet with,
I said yes.
oh, you did?
can we add school building committee, second
Oh.
representative now that Gordon is gone?
So the other one that we have, and if we'd like to have another representative on the school building committee. We can,
I can hop on that.
you sure? Okay,
All right,
thank you.
we have a meeting Wednesday night.
And they're not all 3 hours, don't worry.
Okay.
Longer.
Really selling this position.
All right, so I think we got everything filled now. Any questions? Okay. In the packet, we have the standing subcommittees.
Should be right underneath. Do you want to see mine? It was right, there you go.
Oh, there, I got stuck with that. So this is the year-long agenda that talks about what we're going to address in each of our meetings.
So this, Michael put last year's in, just to give the committee an idea. So In meeting with the committee when I was first appointed, I asked for the year to do an entry plan, which I'll be sharing with the committee at the September meeting. And over the course of this year, and doing that entry plan and having that learning and listening tour, we'll actually be looking to put a district improvement plan, district development plan, in for next school year. And I just felt like it would be a more responsible plan if I had the year to work with the administrative team to identify, where are the priorities, do a lot of data analysis. So what would happen once the plan is in place, then we would be giving updates over the course of the year, and that's what you see here with each goal that we had on our previous plan. We had subcommittee members that represented from the district leadership team, and we would share updates. So I think when Mr. Peker and I were talking, we thought what would probably be best over the course of this year is giving opportunities every few months for me to update you on my goals. I know in the past, the committee would just learn about the goals at the last meeting when they needed to actually absorb it all. And I think it would be more helpful for you to know the progress of my goals throughout the year so that you're not sitting down trying to see everything that's been done over the course of the year. And then it's also important to get a chance to hear from the building principals as to what's going on in the buildings. So we thought maybe 3 times a year for the building principals. So if you don't mind, I want me to share what I kind of mapped out.
Yeah, no, please.
So the September 16th meeting is when I would share with you my entry plan. My coach will also be here with me this evening. Well, that evening. I'm part of the new superintendent's induction program, and as part of that, there's workshops that I attend every month, but then I also have a coach that meets with me twice a month. One meeting, it's just the two of us. The other meeting, she's either walking buildings with me or sitting in on my leadership meetings. She actually joined us on one of the days of the retreats. And so then I thought October would be a good time for the principals to come in. September's a little crazy with the start of school, so I figured October things would settle down a bit. November, I would give you another update on the progress of my goals. Took January off. December off. January would be the principal update again. February would be another update that I would give you on the progress of my goals. April 14th is when I'm doing my final submission to you. So on the 14th, you can expect my self-evaluation. All of my evidence would be uploaded because I believe on the 28th is when the committee would discuss
Yes,
my
that's all.
evaluation.
We would give your compilation.
On the 28th.
Yeah.
And then the May 19th, I figured that would be your reorganization. There could potentially be new members, so a good time to bring the principals back in on the 19th. And the year's over. So that was just as I went through the calendar, but certainly we can make any adjustments.
And then we'll get a budget update every meeting, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. No, thank you for putting that together.
You're welcome.
And then will we get an updated version of this at the next meeting or before? Or when?
Yeah, I've marked it down, so I'll have Michael put it in, sort of like last year's one, just identifying
Yeah,
what will be shared at each meeting.
okay, thank you.
Great. Okay, well, we wanted to,
Do you know, do you know, would we be able to add, going back to the calendar, don't go yet, not student council, school council? Each student, you know how they do a report? Is that on here?
Like, as part of your agenda, the
Oh,
updates
no,
that Ainsley would give?
On this year, no, the year-long
Oh.
agenda, you know how each school has their own school, the council that they meet with the principal, and they have their own,
So you'd like the principals to include in their reports, updates on their school councils?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're supposed to get, so in a perfect world, we're supposed to get a report of that, by the end of the year. I'll have to look up the exact,
Okay.
I think it's a Mass General law. I'll have to look it up, but, yes.
Maybe they could do it at the,
So would you like at the May meeting for them to, as to what the council's worked on over the course of the year?
It should be, you know how, don't they meet and have a plan? They come up with
They
a-
do, they have a building improvement plan.
Yes.
However, they don't right now because the building improvement plan falls
Oh,
under the district
strategic
improvement
plan,
plan.
Okay.
So they'd still be working on things, they'd probably carry over things from their previous year, over the course of this year, and just kind of keep things status quo until we're ready to roll out a district development plan.
So after that-
I was actually meeting with, I don't know, Nat.
Nat.
Yeah, Nat.
he's an executive coach.
And I was saying district improvement plan, and he said, how about district development plan? And I said, okay, district development plan. So when I met with the administrative team, I'm like, had to keep correcting myself. So, usually, I mean, they meet monthly, and it could be about handbook, they approve the handbook, they usually work on the district improvement plan, but then it could just be, you know, the regular happenings that are going on within the building, that updates they're working on, so. So would you think it would make sense in May to kind of give a recap of council?
I don't think so, yes. But I think what's in this year is tough because it's not.
There is no, right,
To start next year.
And the only other request I have is to add the student handbooks. Maybe for like the end of the year, whenever they, so that
so
we,
what I would probably do is I'd probably have them submit them to you, in April. And then that way they're here in May, so that if you have questions on them in May, they can talk about them in May. The end of April seem realistic to submit?
We did this year, we
Okay.
submitted in April, and then we came to answer questions.
The 28th meeting?
Yeah, so April 28th, you'll have their handbooks. They won't be here, but then they'll be here on the 19th to answer any questions about the handbooks once you have a chance to review them. So they'll be in your packets for the 28th, and that will give you until the 16th to review the handbooks. The only thing is it's a new committee possibly.
I was going to say, should we have them to us on the 14th and we vote on the 28th? They won't be here that day, though.
Right. I mean, we could even give them to you on the 19th, well, then that means they would be,
I don't want to speak for the other two schools, but we could be done.
you're the only one here, so you get the vote. No.
I would say we can have them done in March and then come on. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was even looking at June. I mean, you know, the handbooks don't really go into motion until after the school year ends. But I don't know if it's helpful for them to come here on the 19th when you first see them and then not be here when you vote them. Do you think it's more important that they're here the night you get them or the night you vote them?
well, the night we receive them, hopefully people have had time to review them, but who knows? I don't know. I like the March and the April.
So they submit in
You know, I would
March.
hope that I think there was so much revamping done last school year that, do you anticipate a lot of, no, yeah, so there was so much revamping.
And we,
An issue is not an issue until it becomes an
And we-
issue.
and they track changes when they make changes, right? So we can just look at the edits very quickly.
So why don't I do this? Why don't I plan on them submitting them the 14th, and then I'll just have them be at the April meeting as opposed to the May meeting. It's just, it'll be a little heavy, because you'll be also reviewing my evaluation at that meeting.
Oh, that should go quick.
Okay.
Marvelous job.
Great, we can do it now if you'd like. Okay, so the principals will be here on April 28th. Handbooks will get submitted on April 14th. And they'll include in their April 28th a school council update and be answering questions on their handbooks. I'll have Michael formalize this so that when you see it in September, it'll have all of it.
Okay.
That's all I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay. Thank you. So we do want to have a budget workshop and a meeting, effective meeting workshop, but without Peter and Aaron here tonight, I don't want to schedule those, not knowing everybody's availability. So I could reach out to MASC and see what they have available. Is that how you've
Sure.
typically done it in the past?
Well, that, and if they, so they can, if you call our liaison, so we have our own field rep, and then they can, you can ask them to do a specific workshop, and they'll come to us, and then they can curtail it to what your specific needs or wants or whatever.
Okay. All right, so I will reach out and we'll get that scheduled, hopefully for October. No, September, well, we'll see what they're available. Okay. Mr. Shea, school business finance update.
Oh, you didn't mention about the MASC, MASS conference? Well, that's
Isn't
coming
that what I
up.
was just talking, oh,
No.
the actual conference itself.
Yeah,
So this is the one that Peter attends. There's a,
yeah, that's the right, that's the, I can't, oh, no, not that.
It's on the last page of that packet.
this,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that, yeah, I've been to that many times, and it's very helpful. So
So-
if you could go, yeah, I highly recommend it.
But Peter goes and represents the district from a voting capacity. And you don't, do you,
I would, well, if the committee went, I'd go. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd go if nobody else was going.
okay,
But they'll have keynote speakers, there's breakout sessions to attend, dinners, something that the,
Yeah, it's
District
interesting,
funds.
when you go to the workshops, like, the workshops are informative, and you can select, there's a bunch of different workshops during different time periods, and you can select which ones you want to attend. And then you also are talking to other superintendents and school committee members, so it's really helpful, I found.
we looked this afternoon, and the itinerary is not out yet. I mean, the general, like, keynote speakers for the evening events, but the breakdown of the workshops on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday aren't out yet. So I think it's still enough time that if we share that with you in September, then you could take a look at it and see if it's something. And in the past, some school committee members just go down for the day, others stay over and do consecutive days.
great. Okay. Now to Mr. Shea.
So, the fiscal year 2024 end-of-year report audit was completed. The end-of-year report is one of my major responsibilities for the district. I handed out a copy of that audit before the meeting started, and the good news is there were no significant findings. So that is good. The end-of-year report is used for per-pupil expenditure calculations by the state, net school spending calculations, maintenance of effort, calculations by the state. So it's an important document, and there were no findings in the audit, so that's good. Busing, I should be publishing busing hopefully over the next day or two. Just waiting for the updated database from Lucini. I have a feeling this year is going to be, there'll be a lot of complaints this year regarding busing. As you know, we went down from 13 buses to 12 buses. We will not be going down a lot of the cul-de-sacs that we have done in the past, so I'm going to be enemy number one on Facebook.
Well, and I think it's important to remind people that it really came down to budget reductions and lengthy conversations about making sure we maintain the educational programming. There was talks about eliminating busing for those that were not legally obligated to provide, which is all 7 through 12, any K-6 that are under 2 miles. So I think the committee did a nice job of making sure we are giving accessibility by maintaining the buses, but certainly having to cut back on how many cul-de-sacs and front doors the buses were stopping at, so that we could expedite our runs and not have students getting to school late, but certainly being a little bit more financially frugal with our transportation costs.
How much did we save approximately by reducing one bus?
75 to 90,000. As far as updates regarding technology, technology has all been purchased and delivered. We've got 300 Chromebooks we're prepping. We bought Chromebook covers for all the new Chromebooks this year. We've got laptops, teacher Chromebooks, touch Chromebooks. The one thing we did do, as you know, we have been a predominantly touch-view district. Those touch-view are the interactive monitors. We did a lot of research on the touch views, and we decided to go with a different model. We update about 18 every year at the high school to kind of keep the rotation going. So we updated this year at the high school with a Samsung model, and actually saved about almost $20,000 in doing so. So they were tested by Erin Fisher. We're hoping they work out. Fingers crossed on that. We can save a significant amount of money in the future. Jay had mentioned the transition program. We should be seeing some excellent cost savings there. Just a shout out to Joanne Connors in the special ed department. She's done a great job kind of thinking outside the box on transportation. She's piggybacked some runs. She's going to be saving us some money there. So financially speaking, the technology that we've been purchasing, I haven't really seen the tariffs hitting us as I thought they would be. So that's good news with that. And we're always finding ways to save money. And so far, everything's been positive. I really haven't had anything negative come up yet this year financially.
That's good.
As far as
1 month in.
we just not. We spent over $2 million.
Right.
This is July and August is where we're spending a significant amount of our funding. Not only spent, but encumbered, so. As far as facilities go, just an update on the kiln ventilation work has been started. Hopefully that's done this week.
The ventilation's all set, it's waiting on
Kilns, they took like 12 weeks to order, so those kilns will probably be in after the school starts, but I don't think the teacher would mind, or does mind at all. The main entrance doors at Mitchell have been replaced. That project's done. There's still a little bit of welding work to be done over there, but they look great. We painted to match the color of the outside of the building, so happy to get that done. New Mitchell LED sign. National Grid should be out this week to hook that up. I think that looks great too. We finally completed the access point Wi-Fi project here, so hopefully we'll see an improvement in the Wi-Fi here. And I think the custodians have been short-staffed all summer. We've had some out with some injuries. They've been vacations, but I can't say enough good things about the work that they've done. I mean, they should get a kudos. The schools look great, and I think this is probably the first year we've even had teachers and other people reaching out to us saying how good their classrooms are looking, how good the hallways are looking, how good the offices are looking. That's all I have for an update unless,
I have a question.
sure.
So I've noticed that when I'm walking in this hallway here, I don't really walk around the rest of the building, but the broken tiles in the floor.
They're fixed now.
Any idea what's
So-
gonna happen with those?
So the broken tiles in the floor outside at the gym entrance, those were fixed.
Oh, good.
I had thought that these ones in the hallway here were going to be fixed. I can check with Brian Kiley about that. That's not something I coordinate, but we can check with Brian to see if there's a plan for that.
That'd be good. You think Brian will, maybe, I don't know if we have any other broken tiles throughout this building. If we have some on this floor, do we have any around the rest of the building on the floor or not, or, you know?
I don't believe so.
Just ceramic tiles out here.
Yeah.
They would, a good ways down the hall, they just didn't go all the way across. They're just about 7 or 8 small 4x4 tiles, most of them are expansion joints. But all the main issues that were in the hallway, main lobby, those are all fixed.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
But on the second and third floor, the tiles are different type of tile, those are issues.
Oh, good.
And that's going to continue to happen. I mean, it happens every year that the building is settling and moving, and those tiles, every year it seems to happen.
I'm glad to hear that they're getting repaired.
What's the, any update on the fob system at this school?
The fob system's done.
Oh, it's, the new system's in?
The fob system has been completed. The intrusion alarm system is the one we're waiting
Oh,
for the
okay.
company just to schedule and come out.
Okay.
I mean, it should only take a couple days to get completed, because we're using the same wiring and everything. It's just updating the program and the, what do you call the boxes?
The panel?
Yeah, the panels.
Okay.
So,
Okay, awesome. And I won't set the alarm off anymore.
well, you will, until you learn how to use it correctly.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Shea? Okay. We have the first reading of the junior, senior high school athletic handbook.
We have Mr. Silva here as well to share information.
Feel free to sit in Peter and Aaron's spot. Hello.
So were there any specific questions you might have had on the handbook? I'll give you a quick little history behind it. This is something that Patrick, the athletic director, has been working on the last number of years. I just think it was never really shared out because of the turnover at the high school office, so it just really kind of never made it that far. There were some concerns last year with regards to our substance policy and what the penalties were with that, so, which kind of prompted a conversation, and then this was kind of presented to us. Basically, everything you see in here is either directly from the MIAA or directly from our student handbook, so they kind of mirror each other. And Patrick's done a nice job with it. We're going to do a couple things with it with regards to table of contents. We're going to add some links, kind of like we did with the school handbook, with links to MIA. So that'll take time over the course of the year, but we can re-present this again when we do the student handbook as well. So, but it'll take some time for those pieces to be added to it, so.
Okay.
And would they also refer to any policies that are in the,
We could do that, yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any representation on the MIAA board at this time?
Do not think so.
Okay.
I know there are some principals, like I'm on the soccer committee, we just mostly meet remotely, but as far as on the executive board, I don't believe we had
No,
any
they just sent out
representation.
an email recently, maybe last week, with some open positions. I didn't feel I was ready to take on
Yeah, no,
an MIA board
yeah.
member.
No, Patrick does a great job of keeping us informed of any changes, whether it be rule changes that affect specific sports or athletics overall, so.
Would that be something that Patrick would?
Yeah, he attends monthly athletic director meetings,
Oh, okay.
where all of those updates would be given.
Okay,
He's just not a voting member of MIA.
okay. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, ask away.
On page 6,
Page 6. Go ahead.
on policy on missed games, So it says, if a student misses a game during a vacation week, they must miss one additional game upon returning from vacation. Is that for all vacations? I mean, is that for all absences, even excused absences? Like, what if the kid's sick?
If the kid was sick, that's a different story, I think, but if it's, let's say it's, you're playing a spring sport, and it's April, and the family's going on April
Right.
vacation, you're gonna have to sit out one game on the flip side.
There's a line about, they could be excused by the athletic director.
We had a unique circumstance a long time ago. We had a student whose parent worked for the Red Sox and had to miss some time during February vacation, and I think we made an exception for that, so, for spring training. So there are some exceptions out there. You know, if you have to visit a relative, there is flexibility. But typically, it's for if you're going on a family vacation, they feel like there needs to be some kind of accountability.
It seems a little wrong, though, to penalize a student who would be taking vacation during a pre-approved school vacation week. I think we should try to avoid scheduling games during those weeks, if that's the case.
So one of the things we've done, just kind of looking at different sports, in basketball, for example, February vacation, usually there are no league games scheduled. If they play at all, they play in like holiday tournaments that are not part of the regular schedule. Typically, the same thing happens in April vacation with softball and baseball. Boys baseball used to play in an April vacation tournament down in Hull, so they were kind of more scrimmage or practice games as opposed to counting towards your record. So that they have done that in a lot of leagues, because a lot of the schools have the same kind of issue with, you know, students traveling when, you know, they don't want to miss, obviously, school time, so they're trying to use those vacations to.
And you're gonna put in here, what is MIAA? You know how you're gonna reference school committee policy, but then you'll reference MIAA.
We can do that as well, yeah, without a doubt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I would say that these have been practices that have been placed for as long as my children, so at least, you know, the past 7, 8 years. And I find basketball, winter sports are challenging because you have December break and you have February break that happen within those. The one thing that always concerned me is we have students who go away for our school-sponsored trips, and I feel like those definitely should be looked at separately. We don't want to put a student in a position where we're conflicting with, hey, you know, go on this trip to Europe with our school. But when you come back, you're going to be penalized for, you know, missing a game. So I do feel, you know, and I think by putting that line in of absences can be excused based on the discretion of the athletic director, I think helps for those gray areas. But I would say students are pretty well versed in knowing that if they miss a game, then they're going to need to be at a practice before they're able to play in another game.
Yeah, it typically happens more in the winter and spring season. Fall, not so much. You have a few kids that might be on vacation this week at the start of athletics, and it doesn't really hurt them very much, to be quite honest with you. I know as a former coach, it was, you know, you wanted to have a set of rules that you could follow, that all coaches were following the same rules, and, you know, you weren't necessarily the bad guy. You held your kids to a higher standard. So I think that's a lot of where this came from. I mean, we can revisit it with coaches to see what their thoughts are, you know, moving forward as part of some modifications and additions to April of next year, so more than happy to do that. Like I said, the big changes for us were page 11 and 12. Actually, on page 12, the chemical health violations. So for a long time, we were 40%. So if a student was caught with any type of illegal substance, whether it be marijuana, nicotine, alcohol, the MIA had a 25% loss of time. We had an issue with vaping, so we went from 25 to 40. And then second chance, it was supposed to be 40 by the MIA. We went to a 60, just because 2016, 17, it was kind of an epidemic in some respects. So we upped our penalty to try to curb what the issues were. So that was really kind of the draw to go back to this and start looking at what can we change, what's working, what's not working. So, and what we did is this time we modified it, so it's still 40% unless you want to work with a program or like a cessation program where you learn about the dependence issues and those kind of things. And you get that first and second offense. And we have a new, through EB Hope and High Point, we have two counselors that are here with us this year, and we're gonna build in, it's called the Bridge Program. We're gonna build in there kind of a teaching model for students that are caught, whether it be vaping or alcohol. And we can use it for athletics and all of our other students, grades 7 to 12.
Do they talk about this stuff in the health classes?
It's minimal, to be honest with you. You know, this kind of on a surface level. You know, if you're a 13, 14-year-old kid, for the most part, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's hard to make that, it's hard to convince them. So with our hope with our help with this Bridge program is that we'll be able to isolate, to target those kids that are maybe chronic users or even first-time users and try to help kind of steer them in the right direction. But it'll kind of obviously be incorporated with this as well too, so.
Who is the school's health coach?
So that would be through the grant.
Through the-
Oh,
So actually, it was ironic. We had a social work intern here for the past 2 years. He's been hired by High Point, and he will actually be the coach we have here in the district. So he's very familiar with the students at the junior, senior high school. And he'll continue with us through the grant. I believe the grant is 3 years.
I think, yeah.
Is he full-time?
He'll be full-time.
Okay.
Actually, two people. One that's a master's level clinician and a bachelor's level clinician. I think it was 40 hours a week for the year, correct?
Right, and it covers grade 6 and up, so there'll be time for them to work with our 6th grade students as well.
Okay. That's great. Any questions?
Are coaches, kind of reviewing these, gonna be reviewing these things with their players ahead of time? Or is this just given to students and they told, hey, read
So
this, sign it, or?
This is really the first time it's been publicized. It's really never
Yeah.
gone to parents, it's never
Yeah.
gone to students. I think that's a great question. I
Yeah.
think one of the things we're gonna do is, once we get it approved, I think we can post it on the website. We can share it through Parents Wear with parents
Yeah.
as part of like the Family ID sign up
Yeah.
for athletics, as
Yeah.
kind of a check off that, hey, here's the
Yeah.
policies, have you read through them?
Yeah,
Just like we do
yeah.
with our student handbook.
Yeah, I think, them just absently
Mhm.
signing their name to something and then actually understanding the violations are kind of two different things.
I think typically, Patrick used it as a preseason meeting, and typically, one of the focuses is grades, another focus is chemical health, just to
Okay.
look for those signs. So those are really the two biggest issues
Okay.
that we have. Students that are struggling in school and need that support so they can stay on the field, and then obviously students that are struggling with, substance
Okay.
outside of the classroom, outside of the school.
And I would assume parents have to sign off as
Yes,
well?
Yes. We can have, just like we do with the sign-offs for all the other things that we sign off on, this could be attached to Parents Wear. And it would go obviously just to student athletes, not necessarily non-athletes.
So this is the first reading today, and there's not an action item to waive the second reading. But do you need this before the school year starts? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Are you you're bringing this back to us when, in April or something?
Well, any of those revisions, it's gonna take some time to do those revisions. I would think we can do that if we wanna piggyback this with our handbook for next year. We can keep it as is for now, and I can make those revisions, so we can put it in play, and then make those revisions from now until March of next year, and have those links and connections, those type of things.
Okay. Any other questions for Principal Silva? Okay.
So will this be distributed, or are we waiting until it's in its final form to roll out
You need
next year?
this, right?
This has never been out for public consumption. This is really the first time. So if we don't
All-
put it out now,
Procedures and practice that's followed, but nothing has been formalized in a handbook that's been shared with families.
A lot of these, excuse me, these procedures are in the student handbook, some of them.
majority of these are in the student handbook. For example, like chemical health, attendance, all of those are in the student handbook. As far as, specific sports related, no. That's why this is just for athletics. We could do the year without it, and we could wait and make those changes if you want. and then we can put it into play for the 26, 27 school year. I'm okay either way.
Yeah, that's fine. And really, one of the things that prompted this to be put in print was there was lots of conversations that came up about captains and how a captain's chosen, and that's kind of, from my standpoint, as to why this conversation continued as to making something available for families.
How do you feel about it, Anne?
I mean, I think the more transparency, the better, so I'd like to see it out. Even if we have to make revisions, it's not final, but I think it should go out. They
So
should see in
then-
writing what's expected.
So
So-
then I move to accept this version.
Do we need to waive the second reading?
We didn't do that with the student handbook.
No, I only ask because it says first reading on the agenda.
Oh, I don't think we did that with the student handbook before.
Okay.
But we could do that just to cover ourselves.
Yeah, let's waive the second reading and then vote. So I'll entertain a motion to waive the second reading of the Interscholastic Athletic Handbook for student athletes, coaches, and parents.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve for distribution the Interscholastic Athletic Handbook for student athletes, coaches, and parents.
So moved.
Second.
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll put this out in about 2 weeks, once we get a final numbers of students in athletics through Parent Square.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, great, thank you.
Great,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
And
No worries.
it'll be piggybacked with the student handbook for whenever you're gonna bring that back in April.
For the changes, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that the changes that we made to the student handbook, we'll make the same changes here.
Thank you.
Excellent, you're welcome.
Thanks, Mr. Sellers.
Okay. There was a school improvement plan policy, but it's not on the agenda.
25, 26 school
Did I-
improvement
Oh,
plans.
jeez, I missed it, okay.
I didn't put this on.
No, okay.
I can't take claim to that.
Anytime there's policy, I assume it's you.
Well, it's the email from you. I thought I thought Michael had said that you were asking about school improvement plans.
Oh,
be on
it
the
must-
agenda?
It probably has to go with, just like like you said earlier, coming after the strategic plan,
Right.
the school
Yes.
development plan, or whatever the new. So we can just bypass that.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Table that. All right, we have a bunch of warrants to go through. And then the end of the agenda, I'm going to table operating protocols. And I don't know that we can vote on the executive session minutes without Pete. I feel strange voting without Peter.
Well, it wouldn't be for the people that were there because
Right.
they weren't there, so we have to wait, we have to table it
We're
till
in
the next
table, yeah,
time.
okay. So we'll have Michael add the executive session to the September meeting.
Okay.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 51 PS dated 6/17/2025.
So moved.
Can you vote on these?
Can we vote on?
Yeah, we can vote on these. We can still vote on them, because because Peter and Aaron are here? Yeah, we should be able to vote on them.
Because we have a
Even
quorum.
though they're new, we still have a quorum, and it's just a payroll warrant, and they're in here, so they can still vote on it.
Yeah. Did you move it? Did you say?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 51 PS dated 6/17/25.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Action is required after review on payroll warrant 50, or I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 53 PS dated 6/30/25.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Actions required, or entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 1 PS dated 7/2/25.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Action is, or entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 3 PS dated 7/16/25.
So moved.
A second.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 5 PS dated 7/30/25.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant 7 PS dated 8/13/25.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve accounts payable warrants 6.25.25, hashtag 52, dated 6/17/25.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve account payable warrant, hashtag 55/6/30/2, dated 6/30/25.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Entertain a motion to approve account payable warrant SW hashtag 4 dated 7/23/25.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve account payable warrant hashtag 68/6/25 dated August 6th, 25.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Entertain a motion to approve the June 18th, 2025 school committee meeting minutes. Actually, I probably have to wait on this one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so we will table that. We are tabling the voting on the school committee operating protocols, but I think we can vote. We'll vote,
We
actually,
can vote on the school committee standing subcommittees thing.
yeah. So I'll entertain a motion to approve
Unless
the,
there, are there any outstanding ones?
no, we filled everything. To approve the school committee standing committee and subcommittees for the 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor? Aye. As we talked about earlier, I will reach out to our field rep with MASC to see if we can get a finance workshop and an effective meeting workshop scheduled. Any other discussion anyone has?
No, the only thing I would add for the effective meetings one, I would probably tweak that and make it so, because we have a lot of new members to the committee, and I would gear it towards new members.
Okay.
And, you know, the role of the superintendent and the role of the school committee, that's one thing that they would talk about in a new, in a meeting with new members.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Leslie or Crystal, anything? No. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you all. Thank you, EBCAM, for recording and publishing the meeting. You're good.